Good evening, everyone, and welcome to online live psychic readings. Tonight we have Niko with us, who is demonstrating trance mediumship. I'll just ask Niko to come online now, and Niko has already gone into trance. Okay, I will be staying on. I'll be staying on with Niko throughout the evening. Because with Niko being in trance, he's unable to see the comments, so I will be reading the comments out to him and his guides and inspirers who will be coming through tonight. Sorry, we're just a little bit late coming on tonight. I had a service on earlier. So just to say a couple of hellos before we start, we've got Wendy May on YouTube. Hi, Wendy May. And we've got Bernadette Connolly on Facebook. Hiya to both. I can see that we've actually got 7 so far, and I know things are slow to start tonight, but if you can just pop your name on the screen so we know that you're there. The way we work with the trance, hello Joanne Lewis, is that Niko and his guides and inspirers will usually start off with a short piece of philosophy, and I think he's keen to start talking. And then we'll be open for questions and messages. Okay, so good evening. Good evening, Niko's guides and inspirers.
Greetings to you, my dear one. It is an honor to connect with your essence once more, my dear. And greetings to all who have joined us this evening. Truly is an honor. Most of you have joined to receive clarity, guidance, to hear from lost loved ones in our realm. Many are confused as to what their purpose is on this journey you lead in your realm. Many are so preoccupied with the course of their daily lives, their struggles, financial burden. Many are puzzled within the relationships they have. Many are susceptible to receiving pain in your realm. But my dear ones, I ask you once more, are you certain you are aware of whom you are? You are more than just a physical body in your realm. You are an essence of light from ours. Your essence, yourself in our realm, does not believe in pain, confusion, nor worries. It is purely of love and power, compassion and understanding. Rather than view your world and focus on the characteristics your physical body offers your realm, why not focus on your essence? And why not first and foremost focus on your love? Rather than worry of outcomes of future events, why not merely believe with your love, with your essence? Why not love those relationships you're entangled with? Why not focus on being more of your essence within your physical body. For that will prove most beneficial to you, as the worries you encounter today will be less. My dear one, there is much interference on your device. Yes, my dear. Much gratitude. It is not my question, my dear ones, of if you are able to focus on your love, on your essence. For that is your natural state. It is a question of, are you ready to relinquish your fears, your ego, and your mind? This is the question to ponder, my dear ones. For then you will find your answer, the purpose of your journey. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. We've got quite a few people joined us now, and that was a lovely piece of philosophy there. And a relevant question from Wendy May is, may I ask please, what is Niko's guide's name? And I know you've told me, but I'm sure people on here would like to know.
Yes, my dear one, this is a recurring question, as many seek identity in order to accept. Names, my dear one, are provided in your realm. Identity, my dear, is your soul essence. View it, if you will, as the fingerprints on your finger. Unique, different. A calling card, if you will, in our realm. Your energy is who you are. As I sense your energy, I'm able to connect with your energy, my dear. Though I recently heard the name you are known by in your realm, I recognize you of essence. Names are not as important as you dedicate your time to be of service of our realm, to connect with essence. It is simpler, my dear, to recognize the energy of the essence as who draws near you, rather than the names. But I will offer you an answer, my dear, to your question. We are three, my dear, from the celestial realm as you would know it. We join as one and speak through him. Though the voice may be altered, we may take turns within speaking. We blend as one essence. And that one essence you may refer to as Noah, my dear. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you, Noah. Alison Roper asks, could she ask you, are things going to improve for her? It's getting tough to carry on.
Oh, my dear one. Circumstances always improve, my dear, if you allow them to improve and manifest them to improve. Rather than view your circumstances through your physical mind as difficulties. View them, my dear, as your essence, as lessons. Once you understand the difference, my dear, these difficulties, as you perceive them to be, are less. Learn the lessons, and then circumstances change, my dear. You are still experiencing a block, if you will, my dear. For you are not truly viewing what it is for you to learn. Focus on those relationships, but do not always, my dear, put blame on them. Focus on self. What is it that is holding you back? What is it deep inside which you have not changed? After all, my dear one, this journey is the journey of your essence, for its development. Open your heart, my dear. View these experiences with the understanding that there are lessons for you to learn. Not only on the surface, my dear one, but deep within. Find those lessons, my dear. Accept them. Place closure on the past. And then the circumstances will change for you, my dear. So in short, the answer to your question is, of course, circumstances are always altered, my dear one. But that is all up to you. I thank you, my dear.
Alison has a follow-on saying, if I'm being honest, I'm scared.
Yes, my dear. Of course you are. For one, my dear, to truly look in the reflection and see themselves is frightening in your world. But for you, my dear, view your reflection to see your essence. For you have forgotten the strength of your essence in your body. Your circumstances, your experiences have provided great grief, pain, and sorrow. And through that, my dear, you view yourself differently. Your self-esteem has lowered. As you view yourself, you question your ability, your courage, your strength to move on. But again, my dear, I ask you, which version of yourself are you viewing? Do not view, my dear, the wounded one in physical form. For that is temporary, my dear. That is your vehicle in order for you to live these experiences. View the power of your essence, which is still in our realm, and you thus are still very much connected to your essence, my dear. Ask your essence for guidance, for strength, for courage to move past these difficult moments. And believe, my dear, that you are indeed worthy. For if you are not, you would not be living that physical life, my dear. There is nothing to fear, my dear one. All is part of your growth. Be brave and be loving, and love yourself, my dear one, as we love you. And your circumstances will indeed improve, my dear. There is nothing to fear. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. If I can just remind people watching, if you'd like to continue to post so I know that you're still here. Right, I've got Patrick here. Would you know the name of the little grey man who stood in front of me?
My dear one, I hear two names spoken. One name is Thomas, and the other Anthony. I'm sensing, my dear one, the name you are seeking resonates with the name Thomas. Yet what I am also sensing, my dear one, is not only your essence, but the powerful essence of those who are assisting you. And yet I also sense that you are quite well aware of whom they are. For you do possess a great connection to our realm. I am also sensing that we have spoken with you prior, suggesting advice of connecting even more powerfully with your essence in our realm. And yet you heard those words, my dear one. I ask you, have you been focusing on that connection to self? For I'm sensing there seems to be an easier path for you to focus on what is around you, manifesting, feeling the essence of those near. This is much more tangible for you in your world, rather than focusing deeper and connecting to your essence in our realm. And with that said, my dear one, connect to the source. Connecting to the source, the only most powerful way, my dear, is to connect to self. And then all of your questions shall be answered. Much more wisdom and clarity shall be received. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. And Patrick's feedback was absolutely, he has those connections with spirit. And yes, you linked with him a few weeks back.
Yes, my dear one. As mentioned earlier, it is the essence of each that we recognize. It is that simple, my dear one. For as he is able to connect and feel the essence around him, there is an uncertainty with recognizing his own essence in our realm. So if I may add to that, my dear one, focus more on your breath, for it is your essence. And within the breath, you will receive a remembrance, if you will, an understanding of what your essence truly feels like to you. You will understand its power. Though it's subtle to you, for you have lived this physical life, connecting to self. There is most definitely a difference to what you feel is your essence in your physical body and the essence in our realm. I urge you, my dear one, spend ample time, listen in the silence, and focus on your breath to remember the feeling of your essence in our realm. And then it will prove to be a much simpler connection, much more powerful. And I believe this will assist you greatly with your continued connection to the essence around you and to your connection to our realm. And much gratitude for your humble service. Continue to focus on your humility in your realm. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Joanne Lewis says, I sometimes semi-trance with my angels and are very comfortable doing this. So others always say I need someone with me when doing so. What is your take on this?
You do have someone with you, my dear one. You are connected to self in our realm. There is a misunderstanding in your realm. Many possess the belief that you, your physical body, is connecting to the spirit essence of our realm. Many believe that these spirits enter into your living room and connect with your essence. Therefore, based on the teachings of your realm, to frighten many, to cease the connection. Many perceive that they are in danger, that evil spirits will manifest in form, will take over the physical body, will cause harm, and therefore they echo the sentiment to have many near you. Though within that teaching alone, my question to them is, if that indeed occurred, what would those people do who are assisting you? And spirit connection is a feeling. You, the connector, are the one feeling. They are merely receiving the words. They are powerless, my dear one. And yet, they continue to believe otherwise. You, my dear one, are one essence. Only one. And yet you reside in both realms simultaneously. For within your physical body, you are merely a portion of yourself in our realm. This connection has been stable and powerful since you entered that body. It is not difficult to believe so, as the feelings, the sensations you've acquired, chills, pressure, heat sensations, all occurring during confusing moments throughout your life, through questionable periods where you may have sensed harm. I ask you, how did you sense the harm? How are you certain which road to take? This, my dear, was yourself in our realm, alerting you to turn the other way, alerting you through your sensations that something was not right. The same self in our realm, my dear one, influenced your thoughts as you were delivering information, guidance, inspirational words to one in need. With that essence, in that physical form, benefited greatly by hearing those specific words at that time. Has there not been a few occasions where you yourself question, how did you know what to say at that time? All of this, my dear one, comes from self. This is your connection. This is how you are being assisted on your journey. Do you believe that your essence in our realm would want you to journey in a physical form without any assistance whatsoever? Therefore, you are always connected. And with that said, my dear one, if your essence in our realm is connecting to another essence, to the many who are assisting you in your journey, is it not accurately said that through this connection to your essence in physical form, words are spoken, words are being transferred, as what is occurring now? There is nothing to worry of. For those who are persistent in informing you you are in great danger, are not connecting to their essence in our realm. Your essence is who you trust, is whom you've trusted throughout this journey of yours. For you listened to your intuition. You understood, as the sensations alerted you, that you perhaps may be walking into a dangerous circumstance. You trusted the words you received as you looked deep into your friend's eyes and were certain these were words they needed to hear. You have always trusted your essence. Why stop now? You mentioned this was a temporary blending of spirit who spoke through. This is proof, my dear one, for you uncertain of what had occurred, but yourself in our realm allow that essence to come forth and speak through you. My advice to you would be to continue to develop the connection, as I mentioned to our friend earlier, to first learn what your essence feels like to you in order for you to remember and trust unconditionally. Do not become overwhelmed as words are spoken through you. Your essence in your breath, my dear, formulate the words spoken. So your essence is essentially doing the speaking, yet influenced by another essence or two who are blending with your essence in our realm. I am aware this has been a lengthy answer for you, but I am also aware it is what you require to hear at this time. Do not listen to others. Listen only to self. For those who you are listening to will eventually fade from your physical journey. But your soul essence shall always remain, my dear one, for it is one. I thank you, my dear one.
Joan says, thank you. You've helped her immensely. We have Lisa Jo, who says, I have accidentally betrayed someone. The guilt is rotting in my stomach. Have you any words to help?
My dear, first, allow me to say, this act was not accidental, my dear. The perception is offering you this guilt, for you are viewing it as a physical being. Trust, my dear one, that this essence, whom you sense you betrayed, has asked you to cause this act in order for them to learn a lesson, a vital lesson, my dear, for their growth. And in turn, you too have learned a great lesson, for you have learned what it feels like to experience the sensation of guilt and shame. Many believe their actions dictate who they are in their realm. And thus many have shame and guilt, which allows their self-esteem to drop, which formulates a cloud, if you will, over their head. They're unable to see through this cloud, and therefore struggle for many years, always returning to this feeling of shame. This is when an essence in physical form forgets who they are and allows the events which take place to change who they become in their realm. Do not allow that to happen to you, my dear one. Use your inner knowing. Understand and accept that each experience lived is a lesson learned for your essence. Regardless, my dear, if you are on the receiving end or if you are the one inflicting the pain. Valuable lesson to learn from. The first part, my dear, is forgiveness. You must forgive yourself and forgive the one whom you've inflicted the pain to. And then, my dear, just as powerful, to learn to love. Love the one whom you've inflicted the pain to and honor them. For they have joined you on this physical journey in order to be the receiver of that pain. And then, my dear, most importantly, love yourself. For it takes great courage, my dear, for an essence to inflict pain on another, for learning, for growth. For your essence is merely of love, my dear. This is why you feel the shame and the guilt. It is not what your essence is normally used to, my dear. But forgive yourself, honor yourself, and love yourself. For this was meant to happen. And you both shall benefit greatly in our realm, even if you perceive it in yours as suffering. Perception, my dear one, is everything. Alter your perception, and this feeling of shame and guilt shall fade. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Jen Singleton says, may I have the opportunity to have a reading so I can make sense of the things going on?
Yeah, my dear one, all words spoken tonight formulates this reading you seek. I'm sensing your confusion, my dear, within your journey. Reflects the confusion you are experiencing listening to my words. The common thread for you, my dear, is to also believe that you are much more than meets the eye in your realm. You are much more than your physical form, my dear. You are much more than the reflection you view in your mirror. But in order to believe that, my dear, you must first ask yourself, what good have you done in your life? For I feel your heart, my dear. I feel your love essence. You are generous. You have been generous. Not only with your time, but you have been compassionate, understanding, and patient. Though you may perceive that that is not necessarily how it has always turned out. But I am asking you, my dear one, reminisce of this life you've led. Focus only on the good you did, the loving words, the hearts, the heartfelt hugs, my dear, where each heart beat even quicker. Your kind words when one was confused. Your tears when you were confused. In all those moments, my dear one, you connected to self and you listened and you followed your instinct, your intuition, and offered the right words at the right time, and offered your love, and offered a helping hand, or merely an ear and listened. Though they may seem to you subtle, non-important, my dear, they were very important. For you assisted the ones in need greatly, even if it had been on a subconscious level, my dear. You proved to be a deciding factor on their journeys at that time. And yet, still continue to struggle, my dear, with pain, confusion, uncertainty. Then you question your worth. Do not merely, my dear, view your purpose with status, financial gain, specific relationships. For this is of your world, my dear, which is causing you confusion. It is not the material gain, nor the status, nor the ego, nor the pride. Your life, my dear, is a culmination of all those moments where you were of love, where your essence shone through, my dear. That is your journey. So rather than look at the glass half empty, my dear, as you do, view it as half full. For you have done good for many. It is time to accept that and love yourself, my dear, and be more of your essence as you have in the past. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Christine Maris says, I've recently been with my grieving family. This has drained me. How do I get back in balance, please?
Yes, my dear one, grief. This is very much a sore spot in your realm. For the ego overtakes the emotion. One has difficulty accepting the loss of a loved one, rather than remembering the relationship, the connection, the lessons learned, and honor that essence whose journey has come to an end. Many in your realm find it difficult to let go for selfish reasons, for the ego. It is not about the loss as it is, what will I do now? Focusing on I, allowing the ego to overrule the mind. It is not, my dear, a matter of your connection to the family you spend time with. You allow them to affect you, my dear. Set it to the side. The journey with family should never be about them overtaking your path, my dear. It is merely a journey joined for specific lessons through a specific time frame to allow family to affect you, to offer deep wounds, is not living your journey, my dear. In order to overcome this dilemma, it is essential for you to understand the loss first. To understand that it is not over for the essence who has perished of your realm. To understand that that essence is in fact near you, my dear, providing you strength and comfort. Stay true to yourself, my dear. This is the answer to your question. Stay true to your beliefs. Stay true to what you feel in the heart. Stay connected to our realm. For they will return, my dear, with anger, as you are able to move on and they are not. But do not allow that to affect you either, my dear one. For as you continue to speak your truth with love, they will eventually listen. So understand, my dear, this occurrence is for a greater cause, where you may feel detached and isolated and hurt. It is meant for you to experience all those emotions, my dear, to focus on what is real for you in order to remain true to yourself and your journey. Do not allow them or their words, my dear, to stray you from the path you are on. Do not listen. Offer them love, my dear, and continue to speak your truth. And the circumstances will change. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you. Angel asks, are all events in the human life recorded in the spirit world as our records? How is the balance worked out between how many bad events versus how many good events? Is this sorted on a past life review?
I ask you a question, my dear one. Why would you perceive an event as bad? Your question, my dear, was based on your perception that there is negativity within the relationships and the events. An event, my dear, must take its own course in order for the lesson to be learned. This does not mean it is bad. The perception of good and evil, right and wrong, is created in your realm, my dear. The records you make mention of, my dear, is a culmination of a life, of all lessons learned, of character built, of your performance when your back was against the wall, of your compassion, of your love, of your patience. A culmination, my dear, of what your essence has learned throughout an entire lifetime. It is pointless, my dear, to dissect it as good or bad. For one needs this good experience as well as this bad experience to fully learn the lesson, the emotions. As you hold an infant, my dear, and you smile from ear to ear, and you feel nothing but love, that experience is just as important, my dear, as one where you perceive as full of negativity. Why do those in your realm, my dear, focus on the negative and less on the loving, powerful, effective experiences? Understand that your journey, my dear, is a culmination of everything you do, everything you say, your responses, your reactions, how you receive others' words, how you experience pain. And most of all, my dear, the journey of one's essence is to undergo all of those I mentioned in one lifetime and still be able to bring their awareness back to self in our realm. You mention of past lives, my dear. This is also an indication of future lives. The balance you mentioned, my dear, is what you do with all you learned in one lifetime. Each reaction to an action. And of course, my dear, are you allowing your awareness in your realm to bring you back to self and ours? There's much more than your perception, my dear. My advice would be, rather than dissecting each event, rather than putting more focus on one event over the other, rather than feeling guilt, my dear, focus on love. Focus on bringing your awareness to self. And then the clarity you receive, my dear, you will understand the course of all the events of this life clearer. I thank you, my dear one.
Thank you so much. Unfortunately, we've run out of time now. We're coming up to our hour. We're a little bit late starting, so we're a bit late finishing. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming on this evening. We've had some lovely feedback in the comments from the different readings that you've given. And before we finish, I'll leave Noah to give us some final words.
I thank you, my dear one. Much gratitude to all once more who have joined our session this evening. As you were able to feel our essence, we too felt yours. Understand, my dear ones, essence is a pure energy, limitless, no boundaries. You are energy, my dear ones. Respect each other. Love each other. receive each essence in your realm with love, regardless of their words to you, their actions told you, the pain they inflict on you. Accept them all, my dear ones. Be patient. Be understanding. Remember, they too are on their journey. For all those you have encountered and shall encounter, we shall once more encounter their essence in our realm. The one may inflict pain, which may scar you, that you may find difficult to release the pain, carry it around the rest of your journey. How you perceive them in your realm is quite different than how you perceive their essence in ours. For they do offer you the greatest lessons. The ones where our dear friend earlier mentioned of fear. And in our realm, my dear, there is nothing but respect and honor that they achieved what they set out to offer you on your journey. To understand that what you view as pain is actually a powerful lesson. Learn what that is, my dear ones, by looking within, by seeing what you do not necessarily like of yourself. But once, my dear, you identify what that is, seek even further. There is a lesson beyond the lesson. And you'll be able to release that pain you carried within. Forgive yourselves and love yourselves. And of course, respect yourselves. By doing so, my dear ones, you are on the path of bringing your awareness back to self. Understand this is your journey. What you perceive in your realm are just obstacles for would not be a worthy journey if there was clear sailing, my dear ones. Maneuver around the obstacles and find yourselves and love yourselves as we love you. Once more, much gratitude to all of you and our honor and respect.
Thank you, Niko, and thank you, Noah. While Niko comes back to us from trance, I'll just let you know what we've got on next week. Monday, and this is all from memory, so you'll have to forgive me for the ones that I forget. We haven't got Sheila as usual on at 3:30 tomorrow, but we do have Lainey on at 5. We've got healing as we do every night at 6 o'clock. And on Monday night, we have Larkin at 9 o'clock. So if you would like to pop along for some readings or healing at 6, please do join us. All times are British, summer times, UK times, so you can do your own time alterations there. Hi, Niko.
Hi. Hi, everybody.
That was some brilliant guidance at the end there. Thank you so much. And it's been a wonderful evening. Wonderful, wonderful evening. And I know you like to go back through them, and we'll do some lovely work with it.
Thank you, everybody. It was
Thank
fun.
you. Okay, everyone, night, night, and we'll see Niko and myself again next Sunday at 10 o'clock. Not 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
You keep changing the times.
I know. It's going back to our usual 9 o'clock next week. So I'll see everybody then. So goodbye, and thank you for joining us.